Now, going on to the culture part of the podcast, you have Ben and Jerry's demanding that the USA give back Mount Rushmore. Which, yes, it is as ridiculous as it sounds. It is an ice cream company complaining about land. Now, specifically, this tweet was on July 4th, and Ben and Jerry decided it was a good time to say this little message that said, quote, "The United States was founded on indigenous land. This 4th of July, commit to returning it," unquote. Which I didn't laugh, but that took a lot of control. Kudos to me. And they had a little sign, or a little like a sign within a sign, and there was a little sign on the post saying, "This land was stolen." Which, that's every land since the dawn of time, since Cain killed Abel. Or Abel, I mean, since the dawn of time, people have been fighting over land. There's no, that's many people's biggest issue is the tribes all competed with each other and they took each other's land as well. Since the dawn of time, cultures have supplanted land from each other. Cultures have conquered each other. And of course, thankfully this got ratioed, but there were 10,000 idiots who actually believed in this comment and thought it was a good thing. So, of the 21.7 million people who viewed that post from Ben & Jerry's, 10,000 people agreed with it. And to those 10,000 people, I would say, are you going to give up your rental apartment or your house or your car to the indigenous people it was stolen from or is on their land? Because that's every square inch of land. And even if it boggles the mind the lack of intelligence with some statements, although it shouldn't be all too surprising. But again, it would be hilarious to see those 10,000 people. Where did they live? And just ask them like, hey, let's see, Karen, I noticed you have an acre of land in this area, and you have that house. Are you gonna give it back? Because that's not yours, right? That was indigenous land at one point. And I guarantee you, the amount of two-faced charlatans and hypocrites, they would of course acquiesce and say, "Oh no, not my land." And of course, Ben & Jerry's has a factory. It was hilarious. The comments. Someone in the comments noted, "Hey, we did some research, and your factory is specifically located on XYZ tribes throughout the years, centuries ago, and those tribes had it for a while. Are you going to give it back?" Of course not, because it's all virtue signaling. It's not authentic in any way. Now, the tweets did get moderately interesting. So, of the 10,000 people who liked it, there was 21.7 million people who viewed it in the first 24 hours. That gives you a like ratio of 0.04%, which I'm not a mathematician, but I'd say that's pretty low. Now, the response which got the most likes in terms of the response, which caused it to ratio entertainingly, was country singer John Rich. And he responded to that post from Ben & Jerry's, and John Rich said, "Make Ben & Jerry's Bud Light again." His response got 15.9 thousand likes out of 200, and that's out of 228,000 people who viewed his tweet in the first 24 hours of the post. That means his like ratio, in terms of the number of people who liked his statement versus the number of people who viewed his statement, was 6.84%. Now, I did not get a calculus degree I took business statistics when I went to college, but I didn't graduate with a math degree. But 6.84, that just seems, let's see, 6.84 divided by 0.0, what was that number again? 0.04. Oh, math is hard. Well, rather this calculator. Divided by 0.04. That means 170 times more people. That's how much more people liked his tweet versus the original tweet. 170 times. That his ratio was that much better. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, other interesting tweets to respond to the Ben & Jerry's one noted, quote, "Sounds like it's time for Ben & Jerry to donate 100% of its profits to indigenous people," unquote. That particular tweet got 6.5 thousand likes. Now, personally, I've been boycotting Ben & Jerry's for over 30 years, partially because I'm a man and I don't candy isn't a big part of my diet. I really don't eat ice cream. But I always thought it was bougie or fancy to begin with, so I never bought that swill. Not to brag, so some might say I'm a trendsetter. Some. But it's also one of those hilarious things where people started dig into more and more of what Ben & Jerry's is. Well, they are still owned impartial by the very leftist owners of the company who they have a long track record of promulgating their political ideals, which if you make a product that is, in my opinion, designed for the mass markets, anyone could eat ice cream, why would you make comments that alienate, on average, let's say about half the population? Or in this case, maybe more? It's not a prudent business decision, but again, they got their money years ago, and maybe they don't care about the fiscal ramifications of their statements, or they just think Americans are too lazy to boycott ice cream because it's full of sugar. Or, as Archer might say, little column A, little column B. Now, some folks did a little bit of investigating of, the global company who now owns Ben & Jerry's is Unilever. Now, Unilever is a multinational corporation, which I find hilarious, partially because they're the same company that believe in female empowerment, where they have very obese women in a Dove commercial, which is a shampoo company. And I think it's hilarious because the same company owns Axe body spray, which back in the day used to have their advertising come from a man picking up the can of Axe body spray. You spray it, and all the attractive hot women would flock over to him as if he was a magnet, which is false advertisement. It does not happen in real life. I tried it at the drugstore. The girl just looked at me and gave me a funny eye, and I was dismayed. I was disappointed, and I lost all faith in that Axe product to this day. I've been boycotting it. So a little bit of a two-faced company where they have two very different things, where I just don't think they authentically believe in any of those, given that data that we have about the company. But people also dig a little more digging. They found that Ben & Jerry's suppliers use child labor. So again, exposing more of their charlatan, two-faced practices. Now, there is a silver lining to this situation. There usually is in life. If you squint hard enough, you'll find a silver lining. Now, the silver lining is, thanks to this, perhaps this belongs in Business Blunder, we'll see the fiscal results of their political statements as an ice cream company. But thanks to their statements saying Mount Rushmore should return back, you have another upside. You have Blue Bell ice cream trending on the Twitter. Now, some might say Blue Bell ice cream is American. I would say it's more than American. It's Texan. Now, they're established in 1907, which, for the folks who are having trouble with math, that's 116 years ago, headquartered still in Brenham, Texas. And since 1919, they've been in the hands of the Krause family, and as of 2015, Blue Bell was the number 2 selling ice cream manufacturer in the United States. Thanks to the brilliance, and I say that with, of course, sarcasm. I'm here all week. That's a little mini lesson of sarcasm. In the brilliance of Ben & Jerry's statements, now Blue Bell ice cream is trending, and many of the responses are promulgating the Blue Bell ice cream, including myself at NICTOPPING on Twitter, where Blue Bell ice cream actually has an American patriotic brand of ice cream where it has U.S. flags and it's flavored, I think, red, white, and blue stuff. And that's being posted again and again and again. So thanks to Ben & Jerry, not only did they hurt themselves with this advertising statement, they assisted their competitor in giving them not only free advertising, but now they're trending. And of course, we'll see, it'll be fascinating to see the fiscal results, if we're actually able to see the data of the amount of sales that increase and decrease. This may very well, it already belongs perhaps in the social blunder of the day, but it'll be interesting to see if it becomes a large business blunder as time goes on. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Don't forget, we're trying to get up to 3,000 subscribers by the end of July. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment. All the feedback is greatly appreciated as we help make the channel better and better together. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.